In this video, we are going to be looking at the basics of cost curves. On a basic cost curves graph, you will have three different lines. This first line represents fixed cost. It's a straight line because a fixed cost is fixed and never changes. This line represents variable cost. In this case, the variable cost increases constantly as the quantity increases. The variable cost begins at zero because it costs $0 extra to produce 0 goods. This line represents the total cost. The total cost begins at the same price as the fixed cost because to produce 0 goods would only cost the amount of the fixed cost. As the total cost increases, it will always be above the variable cost at an amount equal to the fixed cost. So this amount right here is equal to this amount right here. Here is another graph looking at average costs. This line would represent the average fixed cost. The average fixed cost decreases constantly because the fixed cost does not change, but the quantity being produced is always increasing. This means that the fixed cost per each unit being produced is getting smaller and smaller, although it never touches zero. This line represents the average total cost. It is curved in this way because of the spreading effect, meaning that the costs are spread over the quantity being produced, and because of diminishing marginal returns. This curve represents the average variable cost. The average variable cost curve is below the average total cost curve at a distance equal to the amount of the average fixed cost. This means that as the average fixed cost decreases, the average variable cost gets closer and closer to the average total cost curve without ever touching it. This line represents the marginal cost. The marginal cost represents the increase in cost as the production of the good is increased by 1 unit. The marginal cost curve first decreases and then increases because a marginal product curve would first increase and then decrease. It is important to note that the average total cost curve always intersects with the marginal cost curve at its lowest point.